Welcome to Narayana Live Classes. My name is KS sir. Today we are going to discuss some basic problems on hyperbola. Let us discuss the first problem. Okay, now in this case, the line x cos alpha plus y sin alpha equal to p touches the hyperbola. When the line y equal to mx plus c touches the hyperbola, the condition to be satisfied is c square equal to a square m square minus b square. So let us convert this one into that form. So the y sin alpha. So here we can write y sin alpha equal to, this is minus x cos alpha plus p. So the value of y is equal to the minus x into cos alpha by sin alpha. So minus x into, this is cot alpha plus p by sin alpha, that is p cosecant alpha. So this is very clearly in the form of y equal to mx plus c. Since it is a tangent for that one, because according to this one, this line touches the hyperbola. So the condition to be satisfied is c square equal to a square m square minus b square. So this is like y equal to mx plus c. So the condition is actually c square equal to a square m square minus b square. So this is the condition to be satisfied. So c square means p square cosecant square alpha. So this is p square equal to a square m square. So what is the value of a square? A square in case of the hyperbola is a square only. So this is being taken as a square. M square is minus cot alpha whole square. So that is cot square alpha. Okay, next minus b square. So this is a condition to be satisfied. So according to this one, it is in terms of the sine and the cos here. So let's write this one in terms of the sine and cos there. So you can write this one as p square by the sine square alpha, and here a square cos square alpha, and by the sine square alpha, and this is minus b square. So when you simplify this one, the p square is equal to a square cos square alpha minus b square sine square alpha. So the requirement is, that is a square cos square alpha, next minus b square sine square alpha. That value is nothing but p square, that's all. So the answer for this one is p square. So that is the answer for this one, just we have applied the condition of tangency. Now let's go for the next question. Okay, so in this case, the point of intersection of the two tangents to the hyperbola, the product of whose slopes is c square, lies on the curve. So here the locus of some point is required. So what is that point here? The point is in such a way that the point of intersection of the tangents to the hyperbola, okay, is the locus of that one is required. So let us take the equation of the tangent in slope form. So y equal to mx plus or minus any one we can take, root over a square m square minus b square. So this is the equation of the tangent in slope form to the hyperbola. Okay, right? So let us suppose that we have taken the point of intersection of the tangents as x1, y1. So this is the point of intersection of the tangents. Okay. So since the tangents are drawn from this point there, the point must satisfy that one. So we are going to get y1 equal to, this is mx1 plus or minus root over a square m square minus b square. Okay, because what is the requirement here? The point of intersection of the two tangents to the hyperbola, it is given in such a way that what? The product of the slopes is c square. So when you bring it to this side and square it on both sides, we are going to get a quadratic in m here. So y1 minus mx1 whole square is equal to a square m square, next minus b square. Okay. So you will be getting a quadratic in m here. So what about this one? Collect the coefficient of m square. So here we are going to have the x1 square, from that side it is minus a square into m square. Okay. Next the minus 2x1, the y1, next this is m, and here the constant m is y1 square. So this is plus y1 square plus b square equal to 0. So this is quadratic in m there. So what is the given one? The product of the slopes is c square. So we are supposed to take the m1 into m2 here. So let us take m1 into m2, which is given as c square there. But we already know that product of the slopes for this one is constant term by the coefficient of m square. So because of this reason, here we are going to get, this is y1 square plus the b square by the x1 square minus a square equal to c square. That's all. So locus of x1 comma y1, the locus of that point is required. So it lies on some curve. What is that curve means? Simply it is y square plus the b square equal to c square into x square minus a square. So this is the answer for this one. So the point x1 y1 lies on this curve. Okay. Now let's go for the next question. Okay, according to this one, the equations of the tangents to the hyperbola, I mean this one, which is perpendicular to this line. What is that line here? X minus y plus 4 equal to 0. So what is the slope of this one first? Slope of this one is 1, very clear. Okay, because minus of the x quotient by the y quotient, so slope of that one is 1 there. Now requirement is what? The equations of the tangents of this hyperbola, which is perpendicular to this line. So some line is perpendicular to this one means its slope is nothing but what? The minus 1. So this is the slope of the required tangent. But we know the equation of the tangent in slope form. Y equal to mx plus or minus root over a square m square minus b square. You take the ellipse equation, that is x square by, this is 36 in the standard form of course, y square by 9 equal to, this is 1. So a square is 36, b square is 9 there. So now we can take the equations of the tangents which are perpendicular to this line. Slope of that line is 1, so slope of the perpendicular line will be minus 1. So this is the slope of the required tangent. So let us take the equation y equal to mx. Mx means here minus 1 into, this is x there, plus or minus root over a square m square minus b square. So a square is 36, m square, that is minus 1 whole square. So that is 1 only, minus b square, that is nothing but minus 9. That's all. So here we are going to have the value as y equal to, this is minus x plus or minus. So what's the value for this one? This is nothing but the 27, root 27 of course. So that is 3 root 3, that's all. So these are the tangents of the hyperbola which are perpendicular to that line. Okay. Now let's go for the next question. Okay. Now in this case, the locus of the point alpha comma beta moving under the conditions. Okay. What is that one? That the line y equal to alpha x plus beta is a tangent to the hyperbola. So it is moving under the condition. That is what it is. A tangent to the hyperbola. If it is a tangent to the hyperbola, what is the condition to be satisfied? C square equal to a square m square minus b square. So in this case, you now take the hyperbola and the line. This is already in the form of y equal to mx plus c. So what is the condition of tangency? When the hyperbola is x square by a square minus y square by the b square equal to 1 and the line is y equal to mx plus c, the condition of tangency is c square equal to a square m square minus b square. So we can just apply that condition. Okay, this is already y equal to mx plus c form. So this is the formula we are going to apply. So c square is nothing but the beta square equal to, this is a square m square. So what is the m square value? Here we have the m square as alpha square. So this is alpha square minus b square. And we have the b square as b square only. That's all. Now what is the requirement here? The locus of this point is required. So replace alpha with x, beta with y there. So in this case, the beta square is y square equal to, this is, what is the value there? A square x square next to the minus b square. So when you simplify this one, we are going to get a square x square minus y square equal to the b square. Very clearly it is nothing but what? A hyperbola. Please check this one. Because this is something like x square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1 model. You can just divide with b square and you will get the standard form of the hyperbola. So what the locus means? It's a hyperbola. So that is the answer for this one. Now let's go for the next question. Okay. So in this case, the given condition is what? This line is a tangent to that one. Then what is the condition to be satisfied? Condition of tangency once again. Okay. When some line is a tangent to the hyperbola, what is the condition to be satisfied? C square equal to a square m square minus b square. Just now I told you. So when the line is y equal to mx plus c for example, and the hyperbola is x square by a square minus y square by the b square equal to the 1, what is the condition of tangency? That is c square equal to a square m square the minus b square. So this is the condition to be satisfied. Okay. So this is not in the form of y equal to mx plus c. You can always convert this one into y equal to mx plus c model. Okay, because we know the condition of tangency here already. So let us take that equation. So y by, that is q is equal to 1 minus, this is x by p. So when you cross multiply this one, y is equal to, this is minus q by p into the x plus q. So very clearly this is y equal to mx plus c model. It is a tangent for that hyperbola. So what is the condition of tangent c? C square equal to a square m square minus b square. So what is c square here? C square is q square. So this is q square is equal to a square m square. So a square m square. M square is minus q by p whole square. So that is q square by the p square. So this is q square by p square minus the b square. Okay, so when you simplify this one, you are going to get a square by p square. You divide with q square here. Very clear? When you divide with q square, this is a square by the p square minus b square by the q square equal to 1. So when that line is a tangent for this hyperbola, this is the condition to be satisfied. So using this formula, we have simplified this one. This line is a tangent to that one means, and obviously the condition to be satisfied is c square equal to a square m square minus b square. So here we have converted the given line into that form, and after that condition of tangency we have applied. So very clearly a square by the p square minus b square by the q square equal to 1 means this is the answer for this one. Okay. Now let's go for the next question. Okay. In this case, once again, some line is given, it's a tangent to this one. Then the eccentric angle of the point of contact is, so it's a hyperbola. Okay, 4x square minus 9y square equal to 1. So converting this one into standard model, x square divided by the 1 by 4 minus y square upon 1 by 9 is equal to 1. So this is the hyperbola, and this line is a tangent to this one. So let us suppose that this is tangent to the given hyperbola at a point theta. So what is the equation of the tangent at that point? We know that is x by a, okay? That is nothing but what? It is simply s1 equal to 0, x1 by a square, but x1 is what? A secant theta. Y1 by the b square, y1 is b tan theta. So equation of the tangent, here I am going to write that formula. So if the hyperbola is x square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1, at a point theta, what is the tangent equation? That is x by a secant theta, okay, minus y by b tan theta equal to 1. Because x1 by a square, but x1 is a secant theta, y1 is b tan theta. Thereby, we are going to get this formula. That is the equation of the tangent at a point theta. We are now going to assume that this line, what is that line here? 4x minus 3y equal to root 3. We are going to assume that this is a tangent to this hyperbola at a point theta. Okay, then what is the equation of the tangent? That one. So x by a. So here we are going to write x by a value. What is a value here? A square is 1 by 4, a value is 1 by 2. So x by a secant theta. Next minus y by b. The b value is 1 by 3. This is tan theta equal to, this is the 1 here. So this is equal to 1. So both the equations are representing same line. We are assuming that is tangent to the hyperbola at a point theta. So in this case, it is nothing but 2x secant theta, okay, next minus 3y tan theta equal to the 1. Okay, so since these two equations are representing same line, ratio of the corresponding quotients is same. What is the x quotient therefore? Here the x quotient is 2 secant theta. Okay, so 2 secant theta by the 4 because ratio of the corresponding quotients is same there, and here the y quotient is minus 3 tan theta. There the y quotient is the minus 3, and here the constant term is 1. There it is root 3. Okay, so now it's very clear. We got the secant theta by 2. And what about this one? Minus 3 will get cancelled. So tan theta equal to 1 by root 3. So tan theta is 1 by root 3. Secant theta is 2 by root 3. So what is that theta value? 30 degrees. So 30 degrees is the answer. Okay. So in this case, secant theta and tan theta, both the values we got there. So very clearly tan theta is 1 by root 3, at the same time secant theta is 2 by root 3. So very clearly theta is pi by 6. That is the answer. So we are assuming that this line is a tangent to the hyperbola at a point theta. So at that point theta, we have taken the tangent equation and we did compare both of them. Okay. Now let's go for the next question. Okay, P is a point on the hyperbola. What is that hyperbola? X square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1. N is the foot of the perpendicular from P on the transverse axis. Okay, the tangent to the hyperbola at P meets the transverse axis at T. If O is the center of the hyperbola, then the value of OT into ON is. Okay, let us take the hyperbola. So this is the hyperbola I have taken. So please go through this one. Now in this case, we have taken the hyperbola, a point on that one. Anywhere you take a point there. So this is the point P I have taken. So this is the point P on the hyperbola we have taken. Now from the point P, the N is what? Foot of the perpendicular. From P onto the transverse axis. This is the transverse axis, of course x axis. So when you draw a perpendicular, okay, so this is the foot of the perpendicular. So that is the foot of the perpendicular. Okay, so if you take this point as x1 comma y1, okay, and then automatically n coordinates will be x1 comma 0. So this point is x1 comma 0. This is the center of the hyperbola, which is origin. Now one more thing, the tangent to the hyperbola at P has been taken. The tangent to the hyperbola at the point P means probably this one. So this is the tangent to the hyperbola. And this is meeting this one in the point T. It was given. This is the point T. Okay. So what is the, tangent equation at the point P here? That is S1 equal to 0. So here I am going to write the tangent at P, which is xx1 by a square next minus y1 by the b square equal to 1. This is the tangent at P. But this is meeting the x-axis in the point T. Of course, here the transverse axis is along the x-axis. So because of this reason, we have to put y equal to 0 so that we can get the t coordinates. So what are the t coordinates means? Simply put y 0. Then it's going to be a square by x1 comma 0. These are the coordinates of t. Now what is the requirement? OT into ON. OT is simply the x coordinate of t. And ON is simply the x coordinate of n. So here the requirement is OT into the ON. So what I mean is OT is a square by the x1 and ON is x1. So the x1 will get cancelled and this is going to be a square. So a square is the answer for this one, this one. Okay. So here they have taken a point P and a perpendicular from that one. Foot of the perpendicular is n. Tangent is meeting the x-axis. What I mean is the transverse axis in T there. So we got the value of OT into ON. Okay. Now let's go for the next question. Okay. Now in this case, with one focus of the hyperbola as the center, they have taken one of the foci of the hyperbola as what is that one? The center. A circle is drawn which is tangent to the hyperbola. That means it is touching the hyperbola. Okay. With no part of the circle being outside of the hyperbola, then what is the radius of the circle? So in this case, very clearly, first you may take the focus for this one. So let's calculate eccentricity of this one. What is the eccentricity? Root over a square plus b square by a square. We know that eccentricity of this one. First let us calculate this one. So root over a square, that is 9, and here we have the plus 16 and divided by this is what? 9. So that is 5 by 3. So this is the eccentricity. Okay. Then one of the foci let us take. What is one of the foci here? AE comma 0. You can take even other focus of course, minus AE comma 0. So what is the one of the foci? This is S, which is AE comma 0. Okay. So let us take the AE value. What is A value? A square is 9, A value is 3. And this is 5 by 3 comma 0. So this point is 5 comma 0. Okay. So that is focus yes. Okay. Now what is the requirement? This point has been taken as the center of the circle. Okay. They have taken this point, the one of the foci as the center. Radius we don't know. Let it be some r there. But this circle is tangent to the hyperbola. That means what? It is touching the hyperbola. Okay. So let us take a rough diagram. So this is the hyperbola you take. Okay. This is the transverse axis from here to there, and that is along the x-axis. Now they have taken a circle, okay, with one focus as the center. So probably that circle is something like this one. It is a symmetrical one, not to the scale here of course. Okay. So this is the center of this one, and they are touching at this point, of course at this point, symmetrical one. What is the radius of this one? Let us take the radius of this circle as r there. Since S has been taken as the center, equation of the circle can be taken as x minus 5 whole square plus y minus 0 whole square, that is y square, equal to r square. This is the equation of the circle with S as the center or as the radius. Now, it is touching that one. So, in this case, let us eliminate either y square or x square, any one. Then radius should be equal to 0. So, let us take the y square value. So, what is y square value from that one? So, you can take x square by 9 minus 1 is equal to the y square by 16. Okay, so in this case, the value of the y square is 16 by 9 into x square minus 9. Okay, so this is the value of y square here. You substitute this value of y square here. Okay, then it is x minus 5 whole square. Okay, and next plus y square. Y square is 16 by 9. Okay, and into the x square minus 9. Okay, this is x square minus 9, and that is equal to, this is what I am just substituting this y square value. Okay, please check this one. This is x minus 5 whole square plus y square. Y square is 16 by 9 into x square minus 9, obtained from the hyperbola equation. So I am just substituting that value. This is equal to what? R square. Okay. Now it is a quadratic in x here. You are going to get a quadratic in x here. Okay, this is x minus 5 whole square plus 16 by 9 into x square minus 9 equal to r square. So for this one, delta should be applied. Delta is equal to 0 should be applied. What is the reason? When some circle is a tangent to the hyperbola, at the common point of contact, two different values of x are not possible. Two real and equal values of x are possible. Just take the LCM and cross multiply. So this is 9 into x minus the 5 whole square plus 16 into x square minus 9 equal to 9r square. Okay, so surely you are going to get a quadratic in x here. So when you simplify this one by applying delta is equal to 0, because the circle is touching the hyperbola. Because of this reason, if you apply delta equal to 0, r value you are going to get it as 2 there. I mean the radius of this one. Because when they touch each other at the common point of contact, two different values of x are not possible. Two real and equal values of x are possible. Because of that one, discriminant has to be 0. I mean b square minus 4ac for this quadratic in x must be equal to 0. When you simplify that one, you will be getting the r value as 2 there. Okay. Now let's go for the next question. Okay. Now in this case, if the variable line y equal to kx plus 2h, that is some variable line. It's a tangent to the ellipse. Then locus of p h comma k is a conic C whose eccentricity is e. Then the value of 3e square is. So what is the locus of h comma k? Let's find out. Of course, this line is a tangent to that one, but that is ellipse. So let us take the line. This is y equal to kx plus 2h. So this is the line, and the ellipse is x square by 2x square by 6. So this is 3 plus y square by 2 equal to 1. So that line is a tangent to this one. So what is the condition of tangency? C square equal to a square m square plus b square. So c square, that is 4h square, equal to a square, that is 3 m square. What is m square means? That's nothing but what is that one? K square. This m is k. Okay. So in this case, you can take this as k square, because c square is very clear, 2h whole square equal to a square is 3, m square is k square. Next plus b square. What is the b square here? 2. So this is the equation we got here. So what is the locus of h comma k? Requirement is locus of h comma k. Since locus of h comma k is required, replace h with x and k with y here. So then it's going to be 4x square, next minus this is 3y square equal to 2. So it's very clearly a hyperbola. Very clearly the locus of P is a hyperbola. So what is the eccentricity of that one? If you take it as E there, then whatever is the required one, 3e square or anything, we can find out. So let's take the a square value. You can convert this one into standard model. What about this one? This is 1 by 2. Because I am dividing with 2 there. So next this is minus y square whole divided by 2 by 3. This is equal to 1. So what is the eccentricity? So eccentricity is root over a square plus b square. So 1 by 2 plus 2 by 3 and divided by 1 by 2 here. Okay. So let us simplify this one. So this is root over 3 plus 4, that is 7 by 6 divided by 1 by 2. So this is into 2. So this is root over, that is 7 by 3. So he's just asking 3 e square value. So when you square it, this is e value, so squaring it this one, e square equal to 7 by 3. So what is the 3 e square value? So this is 7. So he's just asking the value of 3 e square, which is nothing but 7. So first we have taken the condition of tangency for the ellipse. Thereby we got the locus of h comma k. So locus of h comma k is very clearly a hyperbola. So and we did find out the eccentricity of that hyperbola. Okay, but the requirement is what? 3 e square. So when you simplify that one, you are going to get 7 as the answer. Now let's go for the next question. Okay, now in this case, two distinct tangents can be drawn from the point alpha comma 2 on different branches of the hyperbola. It is conceptually important. Okay, he is saying that two distinct tangents can be drawn from that point. That is very clearly a point on a horizontal line y equal to 2 there, because y coordinate is fixed. Only x coordinate is a variable one. Okay, on different branches of the hyperbola. So two tangents can be drawn, but on the two different branches of the hyperbola. So compulsorily that point should lie on a line y equal to 2, of course horizontal line, and that too in between the asymptotes. Okay. For example, if you take the asymptote, this is one of the asymptotes. Okay, this is one of the asymptotes, and this is the other asymptote. They are going to intersect at the, what is that one, center of the hyperbola. Okay, so this is the center of the hyperbola. Of course, for this one the center is 0, 0, which is origin, of course. Okay, now let us take a line, and here of course this is the asymptote, and this line is say y equal to 2 there. So when it lies in this area, only in this area, so let us take this as p and that as q there. So the point should lie on that one because it is alpha comma 2, and moreover the point is in such a way that two tangents can be drawn from that point, but not to the same branch of the hyperbola. They are to the different branches of the hyperbola. So that is possible only when alpha comma 2 lies in this area, only in between p and q. Exactly in between p and q it should lie here. Suppose it lies in this region, then also you can draw the two tangents, but to the same branch of the hyperbola. Okay, so in this area if the point lies, in this entire area if the point lies, obviously two tangents can be drawn, but one to each branch. When it lies in this region, you can draw the two tangents from that point, but to the same branch of the hyperbola. So indirectly is saying that alpha lies in between p and q. What are the coordinates of p and q? Let us take the equations of the asymptotes. Asymptotes and equation of the hyperbola differ by a constant. So what are the asymptotes? You can take both the asymptotes. One is, this is nothing but what, x square by 9 minus y square by 16 equal to 0. This is nothing but combined equation of the asymptotes. The line y equal to 2, because the given point alpha comma 2 is lying on the line y equal to 2 there. So let us substitute y equal to 2 there. Then x square by 9 minus 4 by 16 is equal to 0. So what is the value of this one? Y square by 9, and here it is equal to 1 by 4. So y is equal to plus or minus 3 by 2. Okay, so the coordinates of p and q you can calculate. So what will be the coordinates of p? P coordinates are minus 3 by 2 comma 2. Obviously q coordinates are 3 by 2 comma 2 there. So whatever is the point given alpha comma 2, that should lie exactly in between p and q, because then only two tangents can be drawn to the different branches of the hyperbola. But by chance if it lies in this region, then two tangents can be drawn but to the same branch of the hyperbola. So indirectly saying that alpha value should lie between the x coordinates of these 2 points. So that's why minus 3 by 2 less than alpha less than 3 by 2. That means modulus alpha is less than 3 by 2. So obviously this is the answer. Okay, now let's go for the next question. Okay, now in this case, for the hyperbola x square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1, n is what? The number of points on the plane. It is the number of points on the plane through which perpendicular tangents are drawn. Then which of the following is not the the correct one, something like that. Okay, now let's go for this. If n equal to 1, then it is given that e equal to root 2. If n is greater than 1, then 0 less than e less than root 2. Similarly, other two options. Now the important thing is here, what you are supposed to learn is here, direct cycle if you consider. directed circle is the locus of the point of intersection of the perpendicular tangents. Okay. So in that case, first consider the directed circle for this equation. So in this case, the given hyperbola is x square by a square minus y square by the b square equal to 1. For this one, what is a directed circle? Directed circle is the locus of the point of intersection of the perpendicular tangents. For the hyperbola, that is x square plus y square equal to a square minus b square. Here different possibilities arises. Suppose, no perpendicular tangents are possible for this directed circle, for the hyperbola. That means what? Obviously, a square is less than b square. So, if you cannot draw the perpendicular tangents to the hyperbola, directed circle does not exist. In that case, a square is less than b square. Suppose a square is equal to b square, then we will get a point circle which coincides with the center of the hyperbola. If a square is greater than b square, then obviously more than one pair of perpendicular tangents can be drawn. That's why. So, three cases we are obviously supposed to take. So, in this case, the case 1, a square is greater than b square. Then when directed circle exists, obviously there exists more than one point from which perpendicular tangents can be drawn. So in that case, what is the b square here? We know that the b square is a square into the e square minus 1. So very clearly e square will get cancelled, e is less than root 2. So check this one, e is less than root 2. So that means what? When eccentricity is less than root 2, there exists more than one point from which perpendicular tangents can be drawn. Okay. Next, second case. So second case is a square equal to b square. Then radius of the direct circle will become 0. That means that point is nothing but 0, 0 only. In that case, only there exists one point from which perpendicular tangents can be drawn. So here, obviously n is what? More than 1. In the first case, n is more than 1. In the second case, n is equal to only 1. The reason quite obvious, there is only one point which coincides with the center. Now let us take the third case here. What is that one? That is a square is less than b square. In that case, a square is less than a square into e square minus the 1. So e is greater than root 2. Here obviously, the number of points from which perpendicular tangents can be drawn is 0 only. So now it's very clear. Observe this one, if n is equal to 1, then e is equal to root 2. Okay, yes, we know that in this case when a square is b square, obviously e will be root 2. Okay, so that is the correct one. Here, which of the following is not correct and not true? Okay, so if n is greater than 1, then 0 less than e less than root 2. Correct only. You can check that. Okay, and if n equal to 0, then e is greater than root 2. Even that is correct. So this is only the wrong option, which is not true. Okay. Now let's go for the next question. Okay. Now in this case, equation of the tangents passing through 2, 8 to the hyperbola is required. So hyperbola is given. That can be converted into standard form. After that, now equation of one of the tangents passing through that point. First of all, we'll take the equation of the tangent in slope form. And for that, let us take the equation of the hyperbola in the standard model. X square by 1 minus y square by the 5 equal to, this is 1. Okay, that is the equation of the given hyperbola in the standard form. Okay, and now, what is the equation of the tangent in slope form? And that is y equal to mx plus or minus root over a square m square minus b square. So y equal to, here we are taking mx plus or minus any one, of course. So in this case, let us take this one, root over a square is 1 into m square minus b square, that's minus 5. Okay, now the tangents are passing through the point 2, 8. So 2, 8 should satisfy this one. So this point is the point from which tangents are drawn. So in fact, we can verify the options also. Okay, but anyway, here 8 is equal to the m into 2, 2m, next plus root over m square minus the 5. So when you simplify this one by writing 8 minus 2m whole square is equal to m square minus the 5 there. So simplifying this one, this is 64 plus 4m square, next minus 32m is equal to the m square minus the 5 there. Okay, so here obviously 3m square, next minus 32m, okay, and here we are going to have the, what is that one? That is 59, okay. So from this one we'll be getting the values of m here. Okay, so you can take the factors, wherever it is possible. Okay, so the value of m, whatever it is, obtained from this one will give you the answer for this one, because check this one, this is the procedure to be followed for this. Okay, and 2 comma 8 by chance is, if it is satisfying only one of them, well and good here. Okay, and the value of m should be obtained from this one. Okay, so very clearly here is 2 a factor, 3 is a factor or not, we are going to find out this one, that's all. Okay, so this is how we are going to find out this one. So the tangents are drawn from the point 2 comma 8 here. Is 2 comma 8 satisfying this one, means this is 3 into 2, 6 plus 8 minus 14. It is satisfying this one. Okay, next one, that is 3 into 2, 6 minus 8 plus 2. It is satisfying even this one. So next one, 2 plus 8 plus 3 is not 0. So this is not the answer. And here, and even this is being satisfied. So by elimination method also we will get this one. And after that, just we will take the m value from this one, and whatever is the m value obtained from this one, then we can decide the answer for this. Okay, that's how we are going to solve it. Simply, whenever you want to find out the tangents drawn from a point, simply you substitute that point in the, in the given equation, y equal to mx plus or minus root over a square m square minus b square. Suppose by chance you are not able to get any value of m, that implies from that point tangents cannot be drawn. Okay, this is how we are going to decide the answer. Okay, now let's go for the next answer, question. So in this case, the equation of a tangent to the hyperbola parallel to this line. Parallel to this line means same slope. What is slope of the given line? Slope of the given line is 1. Okay, please go through this. Slope of the given line is 1. So the required tangent is parallel to this one. Simply it is parallel to this one. So you can take the parabola or hyperbola, whatever it is. So this is x square by the 5 minus y square by 4 equal to the 1. So x square by 5 minus y square by 4 equal to 1. This is a given hyperbola in the standard form. X square by 5 minus y square by 4 equal to 1. Now, required tangent is parallel to this line. So what is the m value here? It is 1, because slope of this line is 1. So since the required tangent is parallel to this one, slope should be taken as 1 only. Then directly the formula, that is what? Y equal to mx. Mx means 1 into x plus or minus root over a square, that is 5, m square, that is 1, minus b square, that is nothing but the 4. Okay, so y equal to x plus or minus, this is just 1. So here obviously one tangent is x minus y plus 1 equal to 0. Next one, x minus y minus 1 equal to 0. So this is how we are going to find out the tangents, parallel to this one, of course tangent to that hyperbola. Okay, now let's go for the next question. Okay, so in this case, if you take this one, eccentricity of the standard hyperbola passing through this point 4, 6 is 2. So already eccentricity is given. What is eccentricity here? 2. Okay, and the hyperbola is passing through this point 4, 6 there. Then what is the equation of the tangent to the hyperbola at 4, 6? First of all, what is the eccentricity formula? Eccentricity is root over a square plus b square by the a square. Okay, so here eccentricity is 2 given already. So this is root over a square plus the b square by the a square. So when you simplify this one, 3a square equal to b square you are going to get. The reason, after squaring it on both sides, 4a square minus a square, 3a square equal to b square. This is the equation you are going to get. Please check this. Okay. So it is the relation between a and b. Now what is the hyperbola equation actually? That is x square by a square minus y square by the b square equal to the 1. So what is the b square value? That is 3a square. B square is 3a square. Okay, we can substitute that value. So this is x square by a square minus y square by the b square. What is that one? 3a square equal to 1. So in this case, the hyperbola is passing through the point 4, 6. It's given already. It is 4, 6. Just substitute this value. You will be getting the a square value there by the b square, and of course the hyperbola equation. After that we can find out the tangent to the hyperbola at 4, 6. Direct formula s1 equal to 0. So when you substitute this value, this is 16 by a square minus this is y square, that is 36 by the 3a square. So this is equal to 1. So 16 by a square. Here 3 goes 12 times. So this is 12 by a square. So equal to 1. So this is 4 by a square equal to 1. So a square equal to 4. When a square equal to 4, what is the b square? B square according to this one is 3a square. So 3 into this 4, that is 12. So we got the a square value and b square value. So we can now say that the hyperbola equation is x square by a square, which is the 4 minus y square by the b square. The b square is, we got it already, that is 12, equal to 1. This is the hyperbola equation. Now at the point 4 comma 6, we should find out the tangent equation. That is nothing but the formula s1 equal to 0. So what is s1 equal to 0? xx1. So x into the 4 by the 4 here. xx1 by a square minus y by 1. So y into the y1. What is the y1 here? That is 6 by the b square. B square is 12. So this is equal to the 1. xx1 by a square minus y by 1 by the b square equal to, this is 1. Equation of the tangent at the point x1 comma y1. So this is x minus y by 2 is equal to 1, or 2x minus y minus 2 equal to 0. Okay, so this is the answer. Of course, we can easily identify that one from the options once you get it. Okay, so here simple logic, eccentricity is given, thereby we got a relation between a and b. After that, we have taken the hyperbola equation. Since it is passing through some point, first we got a square, next b square, thereby the tangent at 4 comma 6. Okay, now let's go for the next question. So in this case, the tangent at an extremity in the first quadrant of the lattice rectum. Okay, that too in the first quadrant. So that point is, let us take it as L, and that point is AE comma b square by A. So what is the E value? Let's calculate the E value first. Here A square is 4, B square is 5 there. So this is root over 4 plus 5 divided by 4. So this value is 3 by 2. That is the E value. So let us find out the L coordinates. That is AE comma A value 2. This is 3 by 2, comma B square by A. B square is 5. By the A value, this is 2. So this point is 3 comma 5 by 2. Okay, that is a 3 comma 5 by 2. So at that point they have taken a tangent. Tangent at the point x1 y1. Wherever it lies on the hyperbola doesn't matter. It is nothing but s1 equal to 0. So let us take s1 equal to 0. Okay, s1 equal to 0 is a tangent at a point x1 y1. Now we are trying to find out the tangent at this point. So xx1. So x into this is 3 by the, because at the point 3 comma 5 by 2. So xx1 by a square. A square is 4. Next minus y by 1. That is 5 by 2 by the b square, which is 5, equal to 1. So this becomes 3x by 4. Next minus 5 will get cancelled. Y by 2 equal to, this is the 1 here. Now let us check the LCM. So this is 3x minus 2y is equal to 4. This tangent is meeting the x-axis and y-axis at